Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the internet. This is ReNDoG coming at you from episode 13 of this Let's Play Hearthstone series. In the previous episode, we managed to defeat a very worthy opponent, and in this episode, my friends, we are going to be entering the arena for the first time together, and it is gonna be freaking sweet. Well, I hope you got a crunchy ass snack. I hope you got a tasty ass beverage. I got some good old H2O right up in my grill. Give me 1 second. Damn! Let's play some Hearthstone Arena! Well guys, before we get going with today's episode, I've got a bit of a confession to make. I've actually tried to play 2 arena battles already, and in both of those battles, my internet was not agreeing with me, and it got to the point where I was lagging out so badly that I was timing out of each of my turns, and I basically couldn't play, and both of those recordings ended up being absolute rubbish, and I couldn't actually use them. So I have been grinding the play queues for a while to get another 150 gold, because that is what we require to play in the arena. And now that I've had a couple of arenas under my belt, I also feel that I might be able to give you guys a better and more entertaining experience anyway. And in a way, I'm kind of glad that I had a little bit of arena experience before I brought you guys along for the ride. It means I'm not going to be too much of a noob. I know that a ton of you guys have been face-palming out there. So hopefully this arena battle can be some freaking sweet-ass business going down. And the way that this arena thing works is that we build a random deck out of 30 cards. And we're going to be seeing 30 piles of 3 random cards. And we're going to be selecting 1 card from each of those piles until we've got 30 cards in our deck. So I'm gonna pay my 150 gold. Let's get it freaking on, man. I'm so excited. This is like such an amazingly fun part of Hearthstone that maybe some of you guys haven't seen yet. So I'm really excited to show this to you, and I'm really excited to try and do really well in this arena draft also. And this is basically a draft, right? It is like a CCG draft. For those of you guys who are Magic the Gathering players, it's exactly like a booster draft really, but just in a Hearthstone environment. We also get to select a random hero to use for this particular arena. Every time we come into the arena, we will get to choose another hero from a random 3, and I think I'm gonna select the Warlock. And the reason for that is because I've been playing a few play queues as the Warlock, and I've really enjoyed using this hero. He lets you draw a card for 2 damage, which I think is a very powerful ability. And what we're going to be doing in this particular draft is prioritizing the picking of minions with taunt, because every minion that has taunt that we pick basically adds its life total to our hero's life total. So if a taunt minion has 5 life, that is basically a pseudo 5 damage that would have otherwise be dealt to our hero, and that's going to give us a little bit of room to actually draw cards with life tap, which is the hero ability for the Warlock. So that's going to be the strategy today, guys. Let's pick up the Warlock, and we're going to try and pick up minions that are going to help us survive so that we can use our very powerful hero ability. And here is our first set of 3 cards that you can see, and this little blue gem in the middle of them indicates that these are rare cards, I think. And we're going to have a look at what we got here. For 4 mana, we've got a Violet Teacher. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 Violet Apprentice, a 3/5 for 4. That seems pretty decent. We've got a Mana Addict. Whenever you cast a spell, gain 2 attack this turn. Seems pretty decent. And we have an Ancient Watcher, which is a 4/5 that can't attack. I have no idea how that could ever be used for anything. I mean, your enemy wouldn't even attack this thing, really. Why would your enemy attack that? That's kind of weird, man. So both of the cards that we're looking at here require us to cast spells. And I think out of the 2, I think the Violet Teacher is going to be the most powerful. The Mana Addict's going to gain 2 attack for each spell you cast, but only for this turn. So I'm going to pick up the Violet Teacher. Seems like a pretty good 4-drop. Let's get that bad boy into our deck. Next up, we have got a spell, which is going to go nicely with our Violet Teacher. Deal 2 damage to a minion. If it's a friendly demon, give it +2/+2. So that's kind of sweet. We've also got a Dreadful Infernal that deals 1 damage to all other characters. And this looks like a demon card too. That seems pretty strong to me. We also got a 5/5 Stealth Stranglethorn Tiger up in here. But I think I'm going to pick up the Dread Infernal at this stage. I mean, it's a 6/6 that's going to potentially wipe the board. Also particularly good against shamans that make those totems. So that seems like a pretty decent pickup there. All right, here we've got a Succubus, which is a 2-mana 4/3 that makes us discard a card when it comes into play. So it's pretty awesome. We've got a Flame Imp, which is a 3/2 for 1 that deals 3 damage to us. So that seems very volatile over there. We also have the 6/5 Lord of the Arena, which makes me... I'm tempted to pick the Lord of the Arena here. It's got Taunt, and as I mentioned earlier, I think what I want to try and do is focus on picking up as many Taunt minions as I can, or as many minions with a 3 butt as possible. So anything with a 3 butt or higher, I'm going to be picking. Anything with the smaller butt than 3, I think I'm just going to pass up one. So here we got a 5-mana Nightblade. It's going to deal 3 damage to an enemy hero. Not too interested in that. Not very exciting. We've also got a 3/3 here that restores 3 health when it comes into play. That's actually quite good for us because that basically cancels out the 2 damage that we'll take for drawing a card. So I think I'm probably going to pick up the Earthen Ring Farseer at this point. Yeah, that seems pretty decent. It's a 3/3 for 3. And let's have a look. There's another Dread Infernal, another 6/6 that's going to deal 1 damage to everything. I'm pretty happy with picking up a second Dread Infernal, I think. This 1/2 Goldshire Footman, while it has Taunt, it's not exactly the most exciting minion that I've ever seen. So I'm going to go for the second Dread Infernal over there. That looks pretty freaking awesome. Right, we've got a Summoning Portal over here. That's a 4-mana minion that's going to make our other minions cost 2 less. So that's pretty insane. If we play this on turn 4, we'll be able to play our Dread Infernal next turn. And if we have a coin, we'll be able to play this on turn 3. So that seems pretty decent. It's a 0/4 though, so it's not... I would rather have minions that actually do damage in my deck than a 0/4, I think. So at this stage, I think I'm just going to pick up the Demon Fire. Works well with the Violet Teacher, and it's a removal spell. Deals 2 damage to a minion. Or we can give our Dread Infernal +2/+2 because it's a demon. So that seems pretty decent to me. Right, next up we got an Oasis Snapjaw. It is a 2/7 after all. We've also got the Gnomish Inventor that draws us a card when it comes into play. But we're already going to be drawing cards off our hero ability, so maybe we don't need to prioritize the drawing of cards with minions too badly. I think I'm going to pick up the Snapjaw. You know, it is a 2/7. I mean, it's got 7 freaking life. That is a big freaking butt, man. So I think I'm going to pick up the Snapjaw at this stage. Alright, next up we got a 1-mana 2/1 Murloc Raider. Absolutely no interest in that. We've also got a Harvest Golem, which is a 2/3 that summons a 2/1 when it dies. That's pretty interesting, but up in here we have a Silver Moon Guardian that has Divine Shield, and this says the first time this minion takes damage, ignore it. So I think that Divine Shield is pretty good, because Divine Shield basically lets you take damage for free the first time around. So whether a minion is attacking our Silver Moon Guardian or whether we're attacking another minion to try get rid of it, Divine Shield acts as like a, I don't know, like a sponge for damage, I guess. So I'm going to pick up the Silver Moon Guardian. Seems pretty decent. Right, next up we got a Blood Imp over here, a 1-mana 0/1 with Stealth. At the end of your turn, give another random friendly minion +1 health. It's a demon, which I guess is okay, but I think we're just going to pick up another Demon Fire over here. The Succubus is good. It is a 4/3 for 2. We are discarding a random card, though. That's what I don't like about this particular card, because it could potentially drop the best card in your hand straight into the bin before you even get to use it, even though it is a 4/3 for 2. I think I'm just going to pick up a second Demon Fire at this stage. Alright, we're back to picking up rare cards, which is awesome. Let's see what we've got. We've got a 1-mana Light Warden. Whenever a character is healed, gain +2 attack. Pretty decent, I guess. We've got a 3-mana 4/2 Arcane Golem that has Charge and Battle Cry, which gives your opponent a mana crystal when it comes into play. That doesn't seem very good. We've also got a Stampeding Kodo, which is a 5-mana 3/5. Destroy random enemy minion with 2 or less attack. I think we're going to pick up that one, right? Anything that can give you card advantage, even if it's virtual card advantage, is going to be really good. And this minion has the potential of destroying one of your opponent's minions, as well as leaving you with a 3/5 in play. So that is some card advantage that I can get behind. I'm going to pick up that Stampeding Kodo, man. Right, next up, we got another one of these Summoning Portals, another Succubus to tempt us, and a 5-mana 4/5 Darkscale Healer, which reads, restore 2 health to all friendly characters. These are all just pretty bad, I think. I mean, I'm not excited by any of these cards, to be honest. But we're going to have to play with one of them in our deck. Unlike other CCG drafts where you say you have to make a deck of 40 cards, but you draft 60. In this particular type of drafting, you draft 30 cards, and those are the cards you play with. So every card you pick, you are playing with. So I've got to keep that in mind when doing this too. I really don't want this succubus, man. Oh god, it just seems horrendously bad, making me discard cards out of my hand randomly. Whereas the Darkscale Healer is going to restore 2 health to our minions. That seems pretty decent to me. I think I'm going to take the Darkscale Healer. Alright, we got a 0 mana Sacrificial Pact. Destroy a demon, restore 5 health to your hero. Not very exciting, to be honest with you. We've also got a Chillwind Yeti, a 4/5 for 4 mana. And we've also got a 7/7 War Golem for 7. And that seems pretty good. At 4 mana so far, we've got an Oasis Snapjaw, a Silver Moon Guardian, and a Violet Teacher. We don't have anything at 7 mana yet, but the War Golem seems... I don't know, maybe the Chillwind Yeti is just better. It's pretty overcosted, right? For 4 mana, you usually get a 4/4, but in this case, you're getting another butt on your butthole. So I'm gonna take the freaking Yeti, man. Alright, what do we got here, man? We got a Murloc Tidehunter, not interested. We got a Fen Creeper, it's a 3/6 with Taunt. This is a very, very good minion, I think. We've also got a Drain Life, though. Deal 2 damage and restore 2 health to your hero, thus negating the 2 life that we lose from drawing a card. And that goes well with our Violet Teacher. However, I think I'm going to take the Fen Creeper, man. I just want Taunt. Whenever I see Taunt, I just want it, man. I'm going to take that Fen Creeper and be happy with it. Right, we got a Shadow Bolt over here, deal 4 damage to a minion, so that's a nice removal spell. We've got a 1/3 Void Walker with Taunt. We've also got a card called Sense Demons, which is going to put 2 random demons from your deck into your hand. That seems pretty decent, so let's have a look. What demons do we have so far? So far we have only a Dread, we only have 2 Dread Infernals. So Dread Infernals. So basically this card is going to get us 2 Dread Infernals, which I guess is okay, but at this stage I think I just want to pick up the Shadow Bolt. I want to be able to kill some minions in case I need to. Wow, we got a couple of really good spells here too. Another Chillwind Yeti, but at 0 mana we've got a Soulfire, which is deal 4 damage and discard a random card. Again with the freaking discarding of random cards. But over here we've got another Sacrificial Pact. Not too interested in that, to be honest with you. I guess we go with Soulfire. It is a deal 4 damage for 0. You know, that does seem pretty decent. If I'm going to discard a random card for anything, I'm going to do it for 4 damage and 0 mana. So I'll take that Soulfire and be pretty happy with it, I guess. There's another Soulfire over here. There's also another Drain Life. Did we actually pick up a Drain Life? No, we didn't. We've also got a Spiteful Smith, which has in range, your weapon has +2 attack. We don't have any weapons, so that's kind of irrelevant to us. We're also halfway through the draft, guys, so keep that in mind. We need to start thinking about our curve. We need to make sure that we have enough minions and enough removal spells. And at this stage, I think I'm just gonna pick up a Drain Life. Or another. Should I just pick up another Soulfire? I think I'm gonna pick up another Soulfire. The card seems really good. Alright, there is another nice minion with Taunt. Our good old friend, the Ironfur Grizzly. There's also a Stormwind Champion over here, which gives all of our other minions +1/+1, a pretty good 7-drop. But at this stage, I think I want to build up my early minion count. And I just want to give myself enough shield in front of myself so that I can draw some sweet-ass cards with my hero ability. So I'm going to pick up that Ironfur Grizzly, I think. There's a nice acidic swamp ooze too. We've also got a flesh-eating ghoul over here. Whenever a minion dies, gain +1 attack. Seems pretty decent. It is a 2/3. It does have a 3 butt for 3 mana. But you know what? I think I'm going to pick up the acidic swamp ooze because it's a utility creature, right? It's a 3/2, so it's got pretty decent attack stats, and it's going to destroy a weapon. And at this stage, we have nothing to deal with the weapon, so it makes sense for us to pick up an Acidic Swamp Ooze at this stage, I think. Man, we have seen so many Soulfires, it's absolutely absurd. I could have just picked up all of the Soulfires, but we've also got a Dark Iron Dwarf, which is going to give a minion +2 attack this turn for 4 mana, and an Iron Forged Rifleman, 3 mana, Battlecry 1, or deal 1 damage to something. I mean, neither of those are very exciting, if I'm honest with you. It looks like Soulfire is the only place that we're going. Also, if we have no cards in hand, then I don't know if we can still cast it. Do we have to discard a random card for this card to resolve? I think that's probably the case. I think we'll just go with the Dark Iron Dwarf at this stage. I think we've got enough Soulfires, man. I don't want to get too many of these cards in my deck. The random discard is going to kill me, I think. So let's just pick up another Dark Iron Dwarf. Alright, another few rare cards to look at. We've got a demon card over here, a 3 mana Felguard. It has Taunt and Battlecry. Destroy one of your mana crystals. Oh my goodness, so that takes out one of your freaking mana crystals. It does have Taunt though. And it is a 3/5 for 3. And it is a demon. We've also got an injured Blade Master. It's a 4/7 that deals 4 damage to himself. So he's basically a 4/3 for 3. We've also got a Crazed Alchemist, which is going to swap the attack and health of a minion. We could swap the attack and health of an Ace Snapjaw with that bad boy. I think at this stage, you just got to take the Felguard. It's got better stats than this thing. It can actually kill this thing without dying. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Felguard. I don't know if the Felguard's any good, but I guess we'll see. Right, we've got one Shadow Bolt already, another Murloc that we're not interested in. Here is a Razorfen Hunter that we're not that interested in. What we do need to start getting, I think, is some really big minions to finish the game off. I think we've got more than enough removal spells at the moment. And pretty happy to pick up another spell with our with that awesome Violet Teacher that we picked up, so that's pretty awesome. There is another freaking Soulfire, man. Should I just make like a Soulfire deck? Just like 10 Soulfires. Just deal 40 damage for 0. That doesn't seem like a very good plan. There is another Darkscale Healer over here. I really don't want to take another Soulfire. I mean, maybe I just should. Maybe it's just really good. I mean, I can't really evaluate it. I think I'm just going to take another Darkscale Healer. I like playing conservatively, man. I'm not a risk taker. Alright, we've got an Archmage over here that's going to give spell damage +1. That's going to pump up quite a lot of our spells. That pumps up Soulfire to 5, Demon Fire to 3, Shadow Bolt to 5. Yeah, so Archmage seems pretty decent. I think I'll pick that one up. Happy to get that. Oh, and there's our good friend, the Sen'jin Shieldmaster. I think we're going to pick up the Sen'jin Shieldmaster over Drain Life. How many Drain Lives do we have, actually? We have no Drain Lives. I want the Taunt minion, though. I'm going to take the Shieldmaster. We got a Goldshire Footman. Not very exciting. We got a Stormwind Knight, a 2/5 foot with charge for 4. Not very exciting. We do have an Ironbeak Owl over here that silences a minion. That seems pretty good. That's going to help us, removes all card text and enchantments. So that's going to kill things like Starving Buzzards and other minions that might be really hard for us to deal with. I'm going to pick up this Ironbeak Owl. It's kind of like a utility minion. I think I'm pretty happy with that one. Got a 5/4 Booty Bay Bodyguard with Taunt. That seems pretty good. Another Summoning Portal that I'm not really interested in playing. So I'm gonna take the Booty Bay Bodyguard, man. That's pretty sweet. Another Shadow Bolt and a Silverback Patriarch. It's a Taunt minion, but man, it is a bad Taunt minion. It is a really bad one. And I don't really want to be killing my own minions with Shadow or Sacrificial Pact. So I guess I'm taking Shadow Bolt. Yes, I'm taking another freaking Shadow Bolt. That's fine, actually. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Right, we got a Stormpike Commander that's going to deal 2 damage when it comes into play, but we've got another Lord of the Arena up in here. So I'm going to take our second Lord of the Arena. Alright, man, we got a few more rares to look at. Have a look at this. We got an Abomination. A 4/4 for 5 that's going to deal 2 damage to all characters. So when he dies, he's basically going to, I don't know, fart on everyone? I guess that's what he does. We've got a Void Terror. Destroy the minions on either side of this minion and gain their attack and health. So it looks like you got to sacrifice your own minions to make this thing much bigger. I don't think I like that very much. Swap the attack and health of a minion. That seems okay. I think I'm just going to go with the Abomination, though. It can literally clear the board of all minions, right? So I think I'll take the Abomination. Seems pretty sweet. Ooh, and another set of rares to look at. We've got an Arcane Golem. Again, with the giving your opponent a mana crystal. A Gadget Zan Auctioneer. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a card. Well, we have a ton of spells in this deck. So this Gadget Zan Auctioneer is actually pretty good. Plus, we got Soulfires for 0. So the turn we make the Auctioneer, we could actually start drawing cards. We've also got a Mana Addict that could be pretty decent with all the spells that we got. I think I'm just going to go with the Auctioneer. Alright, there we go, baby. That is pretty awesome. I think this deck is going to be pretty sweet. I mean, we've got a ton of taunt minions, a ton of removal spells to help us in the early game. We don't have a lot of action in minions-wise in the early game, but I'm pretty happy with the number of Shadow Bolts we picked up. And once we start to get past 4 and 5 mana, we have got some freaking beefy minions to drop. And we've got some sweet-ass Dread Infernals to play also. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Well, anyway, guys, let's see if we can do this, man. The way that this works is if we lose 3, we are out of the arena. And if we win 3, we are out of the arena. So our goal is to win 3 matches to be able to get as many prizes as we can. And the good news is, even if you lose all 3, you still get a booster pack for your efforts. So at the end of this arena, we are definitely winning something. But you know what, guys? Without further freaking ado, man, let's play our first arena game together as a Warlock with this deck. No idea if it's going to be good or not, but I guess only time will tell. Let's get it out.